They landed on Plymouth Rock. That's the line, taught in classrooms, carved in granite, echoed in Thanksgiving specials. But in 1620, no one wrote that. Not Bradford, not Winslow, not a single pilgrim. And yet we are told they landed on Plymouth Rock, that the Pilgrims stepped onto a slab of destiny in 1620, etched into memory, carved into granite. But that wasn't the full story. The Mayflower didn't aim for Plymouth. It was bound for the Virginia colony. Storms pushed it north and they anchored at Cape Cod. The first landing was at Provincetown, not Plymouth. They explored for weeks before settling near Patuxet, a Wampanoag village emptied by plague. They landed on sand, ice, and grief. Before disembarking, they signed the Mayflower Compact, a civil agreement, not a constitution, not a declaration. It was a stopgap to prevent mutiny. Half of them died that winter. The survivors buried the dead in secret to hide their weakness from nearby tribes. This wasn't a triumphant founding. It was a desperate beginning. In 1741, Elder Thomas Fawn, age 95, pointed to a rock and said, "That's where they landed." He wasn't there in 1620, but the town believed him. They moved the rock, split it, carved it, and built a monument, because America needed a symbol, something solid, something sacred. The Revolution needed origin stories. The Pilgrims became prototypes, religious, brave, self-governed. Plymouth Rock became a shrine. Textbooks simplified it. Thanksgiving sanitized it. We taught the story of the Pilgrims in Plymouth Rock because it gave us a beginning that felt noble. Freedom, faith, and fellowship carved into stone. It wasn't chosen because it was first. It was chosen because it felt right, and the messy truth was buried beneath the granite. The Pilgrims didn't land on Plymouth Rock. They landed on someone else's land. The Wampanoag lived there for centuries. Their fields, their homes, their dead, replaced by a mythology. The Pilgrims called it Providence, while we just accept the story with no questions. We teach the myth because it's clean, because it fits the calendar, because it feels like destiny. But the truth is more powerful, because it's human, because it's flawed, because it reminds us what the American spirit really looked like. And maybe that's why it lasted. Not to erase the past, but to elevate the parts we hoped were true. But the full story still matters. Not to divide us, but to ground us. Because if we can carry both the myth and the memory, if we can honor the hope without hiding the cost, then maybe we're no longer shamed by our history. Instead, ready to reclaim the truth behind the story we have always been told. This has been Doberdin History, where legacy is told one story at a time. See you next time. If you liked today's video, give it a like. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. And thanks for being part of Doberdin History, where history is remembered even if others have forgotten.